He's mine now.
Hello and welcome back. So partially because the last video was so negative and really pissed me off, because them Pokemon removing Fairy type genuinely makes me so annoyed, and partially because I just wanted to do something different. I've never done this on the channel before. I'm going to be talking about dice. So I actually really love dice. I play things like the Pokemon TCG, and I've started getting into doing some Dungeons and Dragons and other games that use dice, but my primary interest in them is simply to collect them because I think they're really cool. So from that standpoint, I'm going to be counting down two top 5 lists. So first of all, I want to talk about my top 5, and this is only ones I own. There are definitely some collections that I would love to put in very high positions on this list, but I just don't own them yet. So first of all, this video, as you've read in the title, is going to be the top 5 dice sets. So if you don't know what a dice set is, it's a D4, 6, 8, 10, 2 D10s, 1 in decimals, a D12 and a D20. That's a dice set. So I'm going to be counting down my top 5 of those, and then the next dice video I make is going to be the top 5 single dice. So, and I'm not just going to reuse any. I'm not allowed to use any dice from the sets I'm talking about here, so they have to be different. So, without further ado, I'm going to get into the first die set, which is actually an honourable mention. This didn't quite make the top 5, but it's an absolute classic, and I really love it. So I just wanted to talk about that, and that is this opaque black and yellow set. I'm sure that there's going to be a certain Star Wars and Trains individual in the comments making jokes about that certain song. So the reason I love this set, it's first of all, it's one of the first dice collections I ever got. That I actually own anyway. I do get some from my dad before this that were his, but you know, these are actually my own dice. Second, yellow is I'd say my favourite colour. It wavers sometimes, but I'd say it definitely still remains my favourite colour overall. And I really love the contrast between the yellow and the black on these dice. I think it works amazingly. And third, the style, I don't know what to call it. I guess you call it the font even for numbers. I'm not sure about that, but the actual style, the smooth style of these numbers, I just really like it on these dice. I'd say I'm also going to be picking a favourite die from each set, and it is pretty damn hard for me with this. I'd say it definitely either goes to one of these 3, so either the D4, the D20, or the decimal D10. I like all of them, but I think these are the coolest looking 3, so which one would I choose? That is actually pretty difficult. I'd have to say overall, I think probably. That is really hard. That is really difficult. I think overall, I'd have to say the decimal D10. It is really close with the D20, but yeah, I'm gonna say the decimal D10. But it is very close. So that's the first dice set. That is the honourable mention. So now we're going to talk about the actual top 5. So coming in 5th place, we have another yellow dice set. However, this one is I guess you could either call it gemstone or gummy or just the transparent versions. So the reason I like these so much, yes, they're a lot harder to read, but I really love this sort of gummy gemstone yellow colour, first of all. And the main reason as well is that I really like the style of the numbers. It's very different. It's unique to, in comparison to the other dice I own. The numbers are much larger, and especially on my actual favourite, my 2 favourite dice of this set are the D4, because it's really small and it's unique, because the numbers are in a different format to the other D4s. As you can see, this one, they are in this usual but weird looking format, and then this one, they are easier to read, but it's an abnormal format. But my personal favourite die of this set is the decimal D10 again, because of the style of the numbers on there. I think it looks really cool. So yeah, I also really love this D6 because, I don't know, it looks like a cube of gummy jelly stuff that would probably taste really nice. I don't know why, but anyway, yeah, those are the I also love the decimal D10 and the regular D10 for that matter because they look like an actual gemstone with this shape. So yeah, that is my number 5 position. So my number 4, number 4 is this set right here. So this was pretty close with the number 3. It was pretty difficult for me to decide, but overall I chose this one because although they are easier to read than the number 3 spot, they are really cool, but they just don't quite have the same element of sort of, I don't know, elegance to them. I guess it sounds weird calling dice elegant, but whatever. So again, I really like all these dice, of course, but I'd say my favourites are probably the D4, because I just think this really nice, slightly smoky orange colour with the black numbers looks really nice on all of them, but especially the D4. My other favourite is the D6 because it just looks so nice with these colours. It works with all these dice, but some of them I think the numbers are being a bit too small, make it look slightly less cool, and also some of them, like the numbers, they're a bit too thick. I think the D6 being this thick works, whereas on some of the others like this D12 it doesn't quite work quite as well. And on the D4 it's the same style as the Transiella one that we talked about, so I really like that as well. So yeah, that is my number 4. Coming in at 3rd place, number 3, we have these quartz style dice right here, and I really love these. So like I said, they aren't as easy to read as the number 4, which would be a downgrade for some people, but I just really love the aesthetic. This quartz actually does look really authentic because I've found some quartz before. I've looked at quartz quite a lot, and even though it's a really common sort of stone, I really, really like it. And these dice do a really good job of capturing that aesthetic. Coupled with that, the fancy looking gold writing. I mean, I love gold. It's one of my favourite colours and one of my favourite things in general, but I think it looks great in the contrast with the white here. One of my favourite aesthetically pleasing dice. And then we have the D4 being the same style. Again, I've just realised it's actually not that uncommon to have this style, so I guess I'm kind of an idiot, but whatever. My favourites in this set, I'd say, are probably the D6 again, the D20, and the D12. I think those kind of work really well. I mean, the D10 is also great with that gemstone shape, but I just don't think that shape suits quartz as well as like a gemstone die, like a diamond coloured one or something. So overall, I'd probably say my favourite one is the D12. I think the D20 is really good, but the slightly too small sides make the numbers stand out a bit less, so I think this probably works the best with that. So that's my number 3 choice. In 2nd place, we have definitely the most out there dice set here, and this probably would have been my number 1 had I not received a Christmas gift of the number 1 set of dice. And these are the unique dice of the video. There aren't any others I own that are like this. So you're probably going to wonder what the hell these even are. Here they are. This is my number 2 selection. Yeah, these are weird, and that's why I love them. They're so freaking different. So it's actually kind of hard to tell at first. I would not recommend these for use in, well, games, to be honest. I'd say they're mostly a collector's piece. They're just so different and not like any other dice that you could easily forget which one is which, and it would just get annoying. So, but as a collector's piece, they are really, really awesome. So this is the D6, and you might be wondering how well these roll. They do roll pretty well. It is very weird at first, but they do work. So this is the D6. The D4 is wait, where's the D4? Wait, sorry, I'm a moron. This is a D4. What am I talking about, man? The D6 is this one right here. So this is the D6. This is the D4. Idiot. The D8 is this one here, I believe. Yeah, this is the D8. The D10 and decimal D10 are right here. The D12, of course, is this, and then my personal favorite is the D20 because it's very hard to use, but it's just so cool. It looks, I mean, if you saw this, you might not even think it was a die. Just what the hell is this, man? It's so cool, but so weird, and it is very difficult to roll. I mean, I already know what the number one on my single dice video is going to be, and you might think that's going to be the hardest to read out of any die I own, but I actually think this is harder because of the toxic colors. I really love the toxic color scheme with the silver writing. It is kind of hard to read. So yeah, apart from the obvious non-linear shapes, the reason I love these dice is the toxic color scheme. The writing in silver works okay. I probably would have chosen a different color myself just to make it easier to read, but it does look pretty damn cool. And yeah, honestly, just showing these to people who haven't seen them and seeing their reaction is kind of worth owning these. So yeah, that's my number 2. Now you might be thinking, what could be cooler or weirder or more worthy than that? Well, I would not have chosen anything to be more worthy of the number 1 than those, as I said, if not for these. So this right here is a special little case I got for Christmas, and it contains the number 1 of this video. So once you open the case, as you can see, we have a little covering. Removing the covering, here we are. These are without a doubt my favorite dice at the moment as a set. So I'm going to get these out, and I'm sure you've probably already guessed what these are, but if you haven't, I'll give you a clue that they don't just have a cool looking colour. It's actually kind of hard to get these out of the box, and I'm doing it very carefully as well. So yeah, let's just put these down like this. So these dice are unique to me. I don't own any others like this yet. I'm going to get some more of them probably at some point. I mean, I love calling the D4s caltrops because if you step on one, that's what it feels like. You do not want to step on this D4. Holy hell no. So yeah, here we go. There's the inside of this case. I think it looks really cool. And if you haven't guessed by now, these dice, as you can see, are made of metal. It's not an expensive metal or anything. You can get really expensive, nice dice made out of precious metals, but these are so cool. They are really unexpectedly heavy, which is really satisfying. Rolling them is really, really cool. It feels really cool. So obviously the shapes are the same as usual, but they have a different styling. So this is the D4. As I say, these are actually kind of sharp, so you do not want to leave this lying around, because if you step on that, you're going to fucking feel it. It's probably going to go into your foot, and it's going to be like stepping on a small knife, so I wouldn't do that. Obviously, it's not actually razor sharp or anything, that would be crazy, but if you step on it hard, that's going to kill. You don't want that. Then we have the D6, and this is actually, for a very good reason, the smooth, like no corner style, which I actually really love the look of, especially on these dice. It looks really, really nice. But obviously, these being metal, it's a very smart decision as well. Like the etched style of the numbers in here looks so dope. Really, really cool D6. Then we've got the D8 right here. Awesome looking D8. Very nice, defined, sharp corners. Obviously, they're not actually sharp, same as the D4, but you don't really want to step on that. Then we got the D10s. Well, the D10 is here, and this is the decimal D10. But look at how nice the styling is of that. Really smooth sides. Really cool. And then we've got the D12 with the more sharp and defined style again. Really nice looking D12. And finally, we've got the D20. So my personal favorite die from this set, if I only could choose one, that's really damn hard, but I'd probably have to choose the D20 because the D20 is, like, if we just take a die set where all the dice look exactly the same, I would pick the D20 as my favorite shape. It's my favorite shape of die. And, I mean, definitely very close runners-up are the D6 and 10 for their cool-ass, unique, smoothened style. I really like that style. So, that was a different video on the channel, and I probably will film it today, but I'll upload it tomorrow, when you're seeing this anyway. I will be making a video on the top 5 single dice, so dice that aren't actually part of a set or maybe I'll allow dice that are part of a set that wasn't featured in this video. I don't know, but yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this different video. If you do want to see more like this, and obviously my usual content as well, I appreciate every single person who subscribes to the channel, because we are nearing 100 subscribers, and that's going to be really awesome when we actually do hit that milestone. So thanks to everyone who does, and anyone who watches in general. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next DICE video.